Hey guys, welcome to episode number 4 of my 12 valve Cummins swap into my F350. So today in this episode, what I'm going to try to do is get the truck ready to receive the 12 valve and the NV4500. There's quite a few things that I need to do to make sure it fits correctly. I've kind of come up with this rough draft list here for all the things that I need to do. I'll show you guys a little bit. I won't go into detail, but some things on here are clean up and apply rust protection to the cross member for the frame, which I've actually already done that. I did that yesterday, but I didn't record it because all of my camera batteries died and I don't know how to charge them. But other stuff on here, our next step is going to be installing the engine mounts, which is what we're going to do in this video for sure. Some other things are test fit the 12 valve. We need to modify the transmission cross member because the transmission on this setup is, from what I've read, is going to be about 2 inches shorter than the automatic transmission that was in the truck. So that one's going to be interesting. We're probably going to have to weld, which I don't know how to weld, but we're going to learn because I need to get this done. Other stuff on here, we got to run new fuel lines. We need to remachine the drive line. That's kind of down the ways, but it probably won't happen in this episode. But yeah, so this is just a little rough draft list that I've come up with. I'm a list person, so this is going to really help me stay focused and stay motivated and get things done that need to be done. So that's why I kind of wrote everything down. So nonetheless, let's get into it. I'll show you what I've done so far to the engine cross member. I've just kind of done a little bit of a paint over it, and then we'll get to installing the engine mounts. So let's go. So this is what the engine bay is looking like right now. I went over everything with the grind wheel on the angle grinder, and so it was pretty much down to bare metal from up here at the bumper mounts all the way back here to about right here. You can see where I stopped. But I went through all of this with the grinder, and then I applied a Rust-Oleum paint over rust type deal, but I tried not to leave much rust for the paint to stick to, and then I went over that again with another Rust-Oleum kind of a chassis paint. So it's got like this black chalkboard look to it. It's very like gritty, but nobody's ever going to see it, so it doesn't really matter to me. It looks nice, and it's going to keep the engine cross member protected from rust and oil and whatnot. So now we can go ahead and start installing the engine mounts from Carrick Customs, and let me show you guys that right now. Get out of here, fly! Okay, so these are our engine mounts here. When it comes to Ford Cummins swaps, there's not too many options out there for engine mounts, shy of making your own. Stupid fly! So there's only 2 options out there. There's the mounts from DCS, Diesel Conversion Specialists, and then there's these mounts here from a company called Carrick Customs. They're a small business. They have a YouTube channel, and the guy on there, I don't know if he's the owner or not, but he does really good videos on all of the work that they do and all of the parts that they make. And he has a truck just like this that he did a 12 valve conversion on, and his company makes these mounts here. So what these are they obviously mount into the cross member here, and they actually use the stock first gen engine mounts because on their website they claim that it is a lot smoother and it keeps out the vibrations a lot better than other companies' mounts. I decided to go through with these ones. It seems like all of the mounts kind of have the same architecture where they sit the engine 2 inches back so you can use the mechanical fan on the 12 valve Cummins. Lots of people really don't recommend you use electrical fans just because of if you're going to be towing a lot. It's asking a lot of the fans to keep the radiator and the fluid cooler. So we're going to do that. We're going to use these ones so we can use the mechanical fan that's on the engine. So let's take a look at these. These come with instructions. Alright, so these instructions are assuming you already have your original removed from the truck. Sure do. Step number 1. Remove the 2 original motor mount brackets that are mounted to the back side of the engine crossmember. Typically one is bolted on and the other side is riveted on. Oh. You mean the ones I already painted? You know, it really helps to read instructions before you do things. Now for the hard one. Okay, lazy editing Jake here. I don't feel like putting this all into words, so I'm just going to tell you what's going on. This side mount was a huge pain to get out. I tried drilling it out and that didn't seem to work, so I tried hammering it once I got the drilled pieces out a little bit. That also didn't work. I ended up going to Harbor Freight and purchasing a cheapo air hammer, which you will see here, which also didn't get the rest of the rivets out. So I went back to Harbor Freight and bought the upgraded version, which did get them out fairly quickly. Alright, so quick update. We got both of the brackets off. This one is a pain in the ass because it was riveted in, unlike this one that was bolted in. So now I just have the new motor mounts just sitting in here. They're not bolted in yet. And I just wanted to see how it looks. But I need to come back here and regrind down all of this side because I kind of beat it up with the air hammer. So I'm just going to clean that up, paint it a little bit, and then we can bolt down the motor mounts for good. Oh hey, it's me again. So another thing that I was trying to do on here in this part of the video is trying to get the trans tunnel cover out, which is underneath my right arm right now. We need to get that out so we can get the manual transmission shift tower into the truck, because this truck originally came as an automatic. So we're going to pull it out, modify it so the shift tower can make its way into the cabin, and yeah, while we're at it, we're just going to clean everything out because it's pretty gross. It's disgusting in here. I'm not touching anything else till I vacuum. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're after right here. This is the trans tunnel cover. It looks like after pulling this whole thing up, I don't think this carpet's ever been up since this truck was built, actually. So all this right here is still like glued to the stuff that goes around it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but we're gonna have to unbolt this and then heat up the glue around there. We'll come in later and do this one for the the transfer case, but we're not going to be doing that until we do the four-wheel drive swap. So let's do this right now. doubt this is going to come up very easily, but I'm going to try and push it out from the bottom. Haha! That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Gross. Let go. Ugh. Ugh. Well, let's keep moving on. Okay, now that we got the engine mounts in there and it's all cleaned up, looks nice, it's pretty much ready for the engine. Let's see what the next steps on here are. Assuming you already have your engine mounts removed from the truck. Yep. Remove the 2 original mount brackets. Got that. Alright, step 2. Massage the firewall. Massage.
Yeah, it's definitely just become second nature. I've done it's probably like
just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day.
what you think 44 foot-pounds feels like, Jake?
About that. Yeah, we'll just call it good there.
I'm a little concerned.
What?
It clicked, and then we
it kept going.
and it just kept spinning.
Okay.
The bolt?
Yeah. So after reading the instructions here for the engine mounts, I came to the realization that there's a backside. And I need to go through and cut out a portion of the engine cross member because the bolts that go into the back of it for this mount here, they hit up against the cross member. So I have to cut out a section of the cross member so the bolt can actually sit flush on the mount itself. So I've marked them off there, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. But other than that, we should be able to drop the engine in once we have the engine mounts in there and then the polyurethane first gen mounts that came with the kit. So those will mount on there because I've already got the actual mounts to the engine. And then we'll just torque everything down and then we'll drop the engine in. Let's do that. Okay, these fit in here great, so we can take these mounts out. It fits in there great with the hole that I just made, so I'm going to kind of clean that up because they're super gross. And then throw some paint on there and then we'll put these back on. Sketch. Hey Lamau, I'm back. So this took the 3 of us probably 2.5 hours to get this monstrosity of an engine into the engine bay. We had to take off the transfer case because we couldn't get it in there with it on. We also ended up having to take off the hood as you see here because the stupid leveler there was too high and we kept hitting it. So it really was a huge pain, but we were finally able to get it sitting in the engine bay. As you guys can see, the engine is finally in there. This is a huge moment for me because this just gives me so much more motivation to keep going. We ended up taking off the transfer case which is over there. That made it a lot easier to get in. We had to finagle our way in with these motor mounts and whatnot, but it's in for right now for the test fit, so we can go ahead and cross that off the list. This is probably going to be it for this video. There's still a lot of things that I need to do with this test fit, and it gave me a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I need to change. Another thing I wanted to point out is we had to take off the exhaust manifold and the turbo because it was interfering over here, and it was going to be a lot easier just to get it in to the engine bay with it off. So that's off. The windshield wiper motor was giving us a lot of issues putting it in here, so I'm gonna have to look into that. But this is a monumental step, and it's a huge rush of motivation for me. Thanks again for watching, guys. This series is really fun for me. I'm realizing how much work this actually is. So I'm very thankful for every single one of you guys who are watching through this series. If you're doing a swap like this, I hope that you take some knowledge and maybe some advice from me as I'm going through this. I've never done this before. I've never done any kind of engine swap. This is purely off of watching other YouTube videos and forums, Reddit posts, and just learning from other people. So this is a brand new experience for me, and I am learning an absolute lot from this. If you guys want to, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. Really helps me and helps push it out to everybody else who wants to see these videos. So I will see you guys in the next video.